How do you find those positive people in your life?
I was really lucky to find people such as, like yourself, Jason Maxwell, Peter Zemis. I think if you go out and you look for people, people will be very, very welcoming to, especially like-minded people, especially the positive, growth-oriented individuals. They're out there, right? They may not be in your circle right away, but they're out there.
Right.
When I started networking with people, I would fly to anywhere. I would hit up, for example, Mike Westerdahl, who I still consider one of my biggest mentors in life. I hit him up on Facebook and he said, okay, well, if you want to come down, I need somebody to shoot some workout videos in Florida, right? And I was like, sure, I'm down. I'll come. What day? I didn't even book the flight. I don't know where he lived. I don't know what Airbnb I'd get. I was like, I'm going. If I got to hitchhike down there, I'm hitchhiking down there because I was already all in at this point. So going back to your question, you got to make those connections.
Got it. It's almost like a commitment that, like, well, if I want to succeed, I'll have to surround myself with the right environment. And I guess you learned that early on when you were fighting and you came out of that negative environment. You're like, holy crap, maybe I am good at this. Maybe I do have confidence in something because you didn't know because you were in that negative environment for so long.
Mhm.
So do you almost feel like because even for me, I almost feel like I kind of grew up the same where I was in a very negative environment. I was seeing violence every day in my house, but I almost feel like that gave me a chip on my shoulder to not only prove to myself, but prove other people wrong to want to succeed and become more self sustaining. Do you almost feel like if you had a super positive life and all these things were great for you, that you would still be in the same position?
Yeah, I talk about this all the time. I have a charity where I sponsor kids through Muay Thai to have the positive influence in their life that I had. And I always tell them this, like, and I truly believe this, whether you're religious, God, or the universe wouldn't have given you the things in your life without knowing that you can deal with it. So for me, the obstacles that are in my life, I've always used them as rocket fuel for my success. And without the negative people in my life telling me that I couldn't do it, without the people that, try to push me down, I really don't think I could have done it because in those really difficult moments, when you're going all in on a business, I put close to $80,000 before my business even was close to taking off. And it's very scary, in those moments, sorry, you really have to think about what's driving you. And you really, really, just like fighting, right? You really have to dig deep. You have to be able to dig super deep into the pits of your stomach. I think Muhammad Ali said, because when it's like you're in the ring and you get dropped with a body shot and you're tired, it's already been like rounds of fighting, and you're on your hands and knees and you're like, in agonizing pain. I've been here, right? I don't like this, but I've been dropped in the fight, and in that moment, you got to find out who you really are. And if you don't have those very powerful moments in life fueling you, you may not get through it. So I do believe that your difficult moments are your best assets.
Got it. So, what would you tell the guy who has had an easy life all his life and he's never been through any difficult moments and he's unhappy because he realizes, and I have guys asking me this all the time, he's like, well, I've had a good life. I've had a good upbringing. I've had everything that I've wanted given to me. I've never had to deal with any negativity. Everything was just handed to me. But I'm lazy and I have all these problems and I'm depressed and I eat like shit and I do all these things and I'm not disciplined. What would you tell that guy? Would you tell that guy to almost put himself in a bad position or put himself through hardship?
Hmm. Wow, that's a tough one. Hmm. I mean, I think that's why going all in. I mean, for business, I think this could work. I mean, for fighting, it's hard to say, man. Like, I have a good friend of mine. His name is Mike Durst. He's a really tough fighter, and he's kind of like me, you know. We both have a chip on our shoulders when we're running. He was my main sparring partner, main training partner, because I could always rely on him to try to take me out. Right. At the end of the day, I trusted going to battle with him, because I knew in training this guy really tried to take my head off. Right. He's a talented fighter, and he's had, from what I've known, he's got a great life. But I don't know, he was able to just find, maybe he found martial arts because he learned that work ethic through martial arts, and now he's an entrepreneur. You know, I have utmost respect for him, even though like I'm a much better fighter than him, and he knows it. Like, I have a lot of respect for him. Um, I guess maybe you just have to find something, try a sport where put yourself in a position where you do have to, I guess, eat a little bit of shit before you can succeed.
Got it. Okay. And I wanted to ask you this because I've always been curious. Like, I knew you when you were, making like 5K a month, 10K a month with your online business. What part of you said, you know what, fuck this. I'm worth more. I have more potential. And you created this company that you have right now in the supplement line. What made you decide, you know what, I'm going into supplements. This is my route, and this is what's going to make me eventually become a millionaire.
Hmm. I guess I've always had the desire to do bigger things, and I knew that I was only scratching the surface of what I could achieve. So I just wanted to push more. I've always just enjoyed pushing hard, even in fighting and training. I've always liked to take things to find out really who I am. And I don't know, I feel like it makes me very fulfilled knowing that I can just keep trying to reach and just keep pushing hard. I think, what's that quote? Like, happiness is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. I feel like every morning I wake up and I feel great because I know that I'm always trying to find my upper limit. Um, I think about a lot of the charities that I'm investing in. I think about the people that I'm helping and the example that I'm setting for people. So, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to always push and see how high we can go, how what the upper limits are.
Got it. Okay, so the biggest factor for you was like, you know what, I don't feel like I'm pushing myself hard enough, and I feel like there's an upper limit.